Have you ever had a moment where something good happened to you, but instead of feeling proud, you felt nervous? Maybe you got a promotion. Maybe someone praised your work. Maybe people started looking up to you. But inside your mind, a quiet voice said something like this: do I really deserve this? What if they find out I'm not actually that good? What if I'm just lucky? If you've ever felt like a fraud, even when you've worked hard for your success, you're not alone. Many people experience something called imposter syndrome. It's that feeling that you don't deserve your achievements, even when the evidence clearly shows that you do. But here's something important that people don't talk about enough. The feeling itself doesn't mean you're fake. In fact, psychology shows that people who experience imposter syndrome are often thoughtful, self-aware, and deeply committed to doing things well. The very thing that makes you question yourself may actually be connected to your strength. So if you've ever wondered why you feel this way, let's explore a few psychological reasons behind it and how you can begin to see yourself more clearly. The first reason is that you set very high standards for yourself. Psychology shows that many people who experience imposter syndrome also have strong perfectionist tendencies. You want to do things well. You want your work to be meaningful. And you often hold yourself to very high expectations. But when your standards are extremely high, even a good outcome can feel like it's not enough. For example, imagine you complete a project at work. Your team loves it. Your boss praises it. But in your mind, you're thinking about the small mistakes you noticed. You remember the parts you could have done better. Instead of focusing on what went right, your attention goes straight to what wasn't perfect. So when someone says, "Great job," your brain responds with, "If they knew how messy this actually was, they wouldn't say that." Research indicates that perfectionism often fuels imposter syndrome because perfectionists tend to measure themselves against unrealistic standards. But here's a healthier way to look at it. Your high standards show that you care. They show that you want to grow and improve. That drive is valuable. The goal isn't to lower your standards. It's to remember that progress matters more than perfection. The second reason is that you compare your inside to other people's outside. Psychology shows that humans naturally compare themselves to others. But the comparison is rarely fair. You see your doubts, your fears, your late nights, your mistakes. You see the messy parts of your own journey. But when you look at other people, you mostly see the finished result. You see the confident presentation, the polished success story, the smooth performance. What you don't see is their self-doubt, their mistakes, their learning process. So it can feel like everyone else knows exactly what they're doing, while you're just trying to keep up. But research indicates that many high-performing people feel the same way internally. The truth is, confidence often grows slowly. Most people are learning as they go. When you start realizing that everyone else is also figuring things out, the pressure begins to soften. You're not behind. You're simply human. The third reason is that your brain remembers mistakes more strongly than successes. Psychology shows that our brains are wired to pay more attention to problems and threats. This is sometimes called a negativity bias. It helped our ancestors survive by noticing danger quickly. But in modern life, this same bias can make your mind replay failures more often than successes. You might receive 10 compliments and one small criticism. And somehow, the criticism is the one that sticks. Or you might achieve something meaningful, but your brain quickly moves on and starts focusing on the next challenge. So your achievements don't always feel real or lasting, but your doubts do. Research indicates that people with strong self-awareness often experience this effect more strongly because they analyze their actions deeply. The key here is learning to pause and acknowledge your wins. Not in an arrogant way, but in a balanced way. You're allowed to recognize the effort you put in. You're allowed to feel proud of progress. Success doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. Before we continue, if this video is helping you understand your mind a little better, Take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to the channel for more psychology insights like this. You never know who might need to hear these ideas today. The fourth reason you may feel like a fraud is that you care deeply about responsibility. Research indicates that people who experience imposter syndrome often take their roles very seriously. They don't want to disappoint others. They want to do a good job. So when they succeed, instead of celebrating, they worry about maintaining that success. For example, if someone praises your work, your mind might immediately think, "Now I have to live up to this." Instead of feeling relief, you feel pressure. Your brain treats success like a test you must keep passing. But the fact that you care this much about your responsibilities is actually a sign of integrity. It means you want your work to matter. The challenge is remembering that no one performs perfectly all the time. Growth includes mistakes, learning, and adjusting. Being responsible doesn't mean being flawless. The fifth reason is that your identity hasn't caught up with your achievements yet. Psychology shows that when people experience rapid growth or new opportunities, their self-image can take time to adjust. For example, someone who spent years feeling like a beginner may suddenly be seen as an expert. But inside their mind, they still feel like the beginner. This gap between how others see you and how you see yourself can create that fraud feeling. It's like wearing a new jacket that still feels unfamiliar. Over time, though, identity catches up. The more experiences you have, the more evidence your brain collects. Slowly, you start to recognize your own abilities. Not because someone told you to believe in yourself, but because you begin to see the pattern of your effort and growth. And finally, the sixth reason is that you're more honest with yourself than many people are. Research suggests that people who question their abilities are often more reflective and open to learning. They ask questions like, "Can I improve this? Is there something I'm missing? How can I grow?" This kind of thinking is actually linked to learning and creativity. Confidence without reflection can sometimes lead to overconfidence. But thoughtful self-questioning can lead to improvement. The key difference is balance. Healthy reflection asks, "How can I grow?" Imposter syndrome says, "I don't deserve to be here." One helps you move forward. The other keeps you stuck. Learning to shift from self-doubt to curiosity can make a big difference. Instead of asking, "What if I'm a fraud?" you can ask, "What can I learn next?" And that small shift changes the whole conversation inside your mind. If you've ever felt like a fraud, like you somehow slipped into a place you don't deserve, remember this. People who truly don't care about their work rarely question themselves this deeply. The fact that you reflect, that you care about doing things well, that you think about your impact, says something important about you. It means you're thoughtful. It means you're growing. It means you're aware. Imposter syndrome doesn't mean you're fake. Sometimes it simply means you're stepping into a new version of yourself. And new versions always feel unfamiliar at first. The truth is, your success didn't happen by accident. It was built through effort, learning, mistakes, and persistence, even if your mind hasn't fully accepted it yet. So the next time that voice whispers, "You don't belong here," pause for a moment. Ask yourself a different question. What if I actually earned this? Growth often feels uncomfortable because it stretches your identity. But that discomfort is also a sign that you're moving forward. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt imposter syndrome in your work, your creativity, or your relationships? What helped you move through it? Share your experience in the comments. Someone watching might feel less alone. And if you enjoy exploring psychology, personality, and the deeper patterns of the human mind, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.